Enough, Theramenes. I'm going. There's nothing you can do to stop me. With so much doubt in my troubled soul, I'm ashamed to sit idly at home. My father's been missing for 6 months, and I don't know what's happened to him, and I don't know where to look for him.
That's the question. I know how you feel, but I've searched both seas around Corinth. I've spoken his name on every coast. As far as the river Acheron, I passed through Tenerus. And even the ocean that swallowed Icarus, what hope is left now? Where could you go to seek out a trace of his passing? And who knows? Who knows if Theseus wants to be unearthed? For all we know, your father is off pursuing some new love, and waits only to take possession
Stop, Theramenes. Show some respect. His days of chasing women are done. It isn't that. His inconstant heart was tamed by Phaedra. There's no one else. I'm duty-bound to find him. Besides, I can't bear this place any longer.
Why not? What brought on this change of heart? You've lived here all your life. You love it far more than the Athenian court. What's troubling you? Did something happen?
My happy days are gone. Everything ended when the gods brought to our shore the child of Minos and Pasiphae.
I understand. I know it's hateful to see Phaedra in your mother's place. She'd barely set eyes on you before she conspired to have you sent away. She hated you then. But at least now her feelings seem to have softened some. Besides, she's ill. I heard she might die. There's nothing she can do to you now.
It's not Phaedra I'm afraid of now. I'm running away from something else. I'm leaving because of Arisha, the last child of a traitorous race.
What? Are you going against her too? The poor sister of cruel Pallantides never shared in her brother's treason. Why persecute an innocent soul?
I'm the one being persecuted.
I think I understand your problem. With your father gone, your heart has changed. Hippolytus, the enemy of love isn't so pure as he used to be. Venus has lost her patience with you. Is it possible that finally she struck a fire in your icy heart and burned you with a curse of desire. Do you worship at her altar? Are you in love?
Not another word. You know me. You've known me all my life. You know I'm brave, I'm proud, disdainful. Oh, what should I say? It's all been a lie. I was suckled by an Amazon. My mother, a queen, a warrior. When I grew older and knew myself, I blessed my untamed, unromantic heart. You and I grew close, became brothers. When you told me about my father, I hung on every word. My soul burned to know the man whose blood filled my veins. God-like Theseus, the judge of men, so many tyrants and monsters killed. Procrustes, Chiron, Periphetes, the Epidaurian giant slain, the Minotaur's blood staining the ground. But Theseus had another side. His lustful heart, his endless hunger. Helen, stolen from her Spartan home. Parobia, drowning in her tears. Ariadne, abandoned and lost, and her sister. Phaedra, taken too. So many others. Names lost to time. Foolish woman ruined by his desire. I could hardly bear to hear it all. My father's triumphs, reputation poisoned by his failures as a man. I prayed I would be nothing like him. Is it my turn now to be enslaved? Did the gods preserve me all this time, only to cast me down in the end? Love. Soft. Shameful, latched onto my heart. And yet I've done nothing. Nothing great to balance this desperate weakness. I haven't made a name for myself the way Theseus did. And so now I have no right to make his mistakes. Even if I had to fall in love, why did it have to be Arisha? Was I so deluded I forgot the barriers that stand between us? My father hates her, and he's decreed her brother's line must end forever. She's never to marry. No children to feed the branching growth of traitors. What, should I defy my father for her? You know him. Is this how my youth ends, with a hopeless love, my father's hatred?
My lord, when the gods send love your way, they don't care if you're ready or not. Theseus opened your eyes to her. His hatred stirred your rebellious heart, and his captive sweetly captured you. Why be afraid of innocent love? If honey is sweet, why not taste it? Will you hide your feelings forever? If godlike Hercules fell in love, what mortal can fight against Venus? Strong as you are, where would you be if your mother Antiope held strong against her passion for Theseus? But what's the use of talking like this? You've changed already. For many days you've hardly been seen proud and savage, racing your chariot on the shore or practicing the art Neptune taught, bringing a wild stallion to the ground. You don't go hunting in the forest. Your eyes are heavy with sad longing. The signs are clear. You're burning with love. You're dying from a hidden disease. Just admit it. You love Arisha.
I can't talk. I have to go. I have to try and find my father.
Will you take your leave of Phaedra first?
Of course. You can tell her I'm waiting. It's my duty to keep her informed. Wait. Here's her woman unknown. What's wrong? What new sorrow is weighing her down?
My lord, what worries equal mine? The queen is sick. I think she may die. Day and night I watch her slip away. She's leaving me and I don't know why. Her soul is trying to kill itself. Wild thoughts drive her from her bed. She wants to see the sun, but her pain is so great she can't bear to be seen. She's coming.
I understand. I'll go. I'm the last person she'd want to see.
More. I can't go on, please, no. I can't stand up, I'm so exhausted. It's too bright here. The sun burns my eyes. I'm shaking. My knees are giving way. Help me.
Mercy on us.
These jewels, these robes, how heavy they are. My hair. Someone's braided my hair. Who did this? Who told them to? Everything hurts. Everyone hurts me.
Your desires are at war with themselves. You hated the way you did your hair and begged us to braid it for you. You pulled yourself out of your bed. You wanted to come see the sunlight. You see the light and hide from it and hate the thing you longed to embrace.
Blazing author of my cursed race. My mother claimed you as her father. Are you ashamed to look on me now? Grandfather, son, my night is coming.
Please. Stop talking, stop thinking that way. Do I have to watch you waste away and make yourself ready to die?
God, hide me in the forest's deep shade. Cover me in his chariot's dust, flying like a god down the road.
What?
Unknown? Where am I? What did I say? Where hath my heart? My senses gone. Lost. Lost. The gods have taken them. Unknown. My face is burning with shame. I've said too much. I've shown too much. I let you see my hidden pain. I can't stop my eyes from weeping.
You should be ashamed of your silence. Your silence makes everything worse. You fight against help, deaf to our pleas, determined to end your lonely life. What madness has stolen your spirit? What spell, what poison consumes you? 3 times night has covered the sky since sleep was able to rest your eyes. 3 times the sun has kissed the clouds since food was lifted to touch your lips. What terrible end awaits you? Why do you plot against yourself? You offend the gods who made you. You betray your missing husband. You betray your unhappy children. Think of them. What they'll have to suffer. Remember the day their mother dies, another child waits to make his claim. The enemy to you and your blood, that bastard spawn of an Amazon, Hippolytus.
Oh, God!
Heard me.
You idiot! What name did you speak?
As well you should be angry. I'm glad to see you hate the sound of his name. Live, then. Live for love and duty. Live. Don't let a savage's son take the throne and lord it over the precious blood of your heart. Hurry. Each moment could be your last. Hurry, restore your broken health while a spark of life remains in you that can still be fanned into a flame.
I've endured my guilty life too long.
Why? Are you hounded by some regret? What sin could you have committed your hands never shed innocent blood?
Yes, thank heaven my hands are still clean. If only my heart could be as pure.
What awful thing could you have conceived to freeze your own heart with terror?
I've told you enough. Ask me no more. I'll take my secrets to my grave.
Die then, and bury your mysteries. But someone else will close your eyes. Although your flame is burning low, I'll go down before you to the dead. 1,000 ways are open to me. I'll choose the quickest exit from life. Heartless woman! When have I failed you? My arms received you when you were born. For you I left country and children. Is this your reward for all my pains?
What do you hope to gain by this? If I speak, you'll be struck deaf and blind.
Dear God, what could you say to me that could be worse than watching you die?
If you knew my crime, my destiny, I'd still die. I'd die in torment.
By all the tears I've shed for you, by your trembling knees I now embrace, free my mind from this uncertainty.
As you will. Rise.
Speak. I'm listening.
Gods, what can I say? Where to begin?
You're breaking my heart. Talk to me.
The curse of Venus. Her fatal rage. How love perverted my mother's mind.
Forget about that. Forevermore bury her memory in silence.
Sister Ariadne. What passion left her to die on the exiled shore?
What is it? What deadly sorrow brings your sad family to mind?
Of all my tainted blood, Venus wills that I die the most degenerate.
Is it love?
Love and all its horrors.
But who?
Prepare to hear the worst. I love, I tremble at his name. I love.
Who?
You know his name. The Amazon's son.
Hippolytus.
You said his name, I didn't say it.
Gods, what have you done? This will kill me. Hopeless. Your sinful, tainted blood. Damn this place! Damn the journey here! Why did we come to this evil land?
It started before we ever came. I'd just been married to Theseus. I felt loved, secure, happy at last. And then I met Hippolytus. I saw him, my face burned, I went pale. A storm rose, screaming in my soul. My eyes went blind, I couldn't speak. I was freezing. I was burning. I knew then that Venus had caught me, torturing me like all my kind. I prayed. I begged Venus for release. I built a magnificent temple. Day and night I sacrificed to her, seeking my lost mind in the entrails. Useless cures for incurable love. As I burned incense on the altar and prayed aloud to Venus, my heart worshipped only Hippolytus. When I slaughtered beasts on the altar, their blood fed a god I dared not name. I saw Hippolytus every time I looked into his father's face. At last I took arms against myself and declared war on Hippolytus. I became the wicked stepmother. I called for his exile, wept and raged until Theseus sent him away. Just so I didn't have to see him. With Hippolytus gone, I could breathe. I could feel innocent again. I could be faithful to Theseus and nurse the fruits of our cursed marriage. All for nothing. Miserable fate. Theseus brought me here to Troyzen, and there was Hippolytus waiting. My old wounds started to bleed again. My dead love rose screaming back to life. Venus has me. Venus devours me. My sinful heart is terrified. I hate life. My love is horrible. I wanted to die with the secret and hide my dark passion from the sun. But I couldn't stand to hear you beg. It's all out now. I'm not sorry if it means you'll let me die in peace. You can't help me. It's impossible to breathe life into a corpse.
I wish I could hide you from sorrow, but my duty is to speak. Death has taken your invincible lord. You're
What?
the last one to hear the news.
What?
Stop praying for Theseus' safe return. Hippolytus heard news from ships that just arrived in port.
Dear God.
is now the question of succession. Some people want your son, the prince. Others, ignoring the law, declare the Amazon's bastard should be king. I've even heard talk of a plot to put Orisha on the throne. You can stop this. Hippolytus was planning to leave, but if he does, it looks like he's abandoning you.
Penelope, enough! The Queen heard you. She'll take your advice seriously. I was about to give up on you. I was starting to plan my own death. There was no way I could change your mind. But the situation is different now. This sad news could bring you good fortune. The king is gone. His place is empty. He left you a son who needs you now, a slave if you die, king if you live. Who else can he turn to in his grief? Only a mother can dry his tears. If you kill yourself, the gods above will damn you for abandoning him. Live, then. Your reason for shame is dead. Your love is just love now, nothing more. When he died, Theseus broke the bonds that shadowed your love with horror. Hippolytus isn't a threat now. You can see him and not feel ashamed. It could be that convinced of your hate, he was ready to lead a revolt. Undeceive him. Get him on your side. Troyzen is his share of the kingdom, but he knows the law gives your son rule over Athens and the rest. A common enemy unites you. Join forces against Orisha.
So be it. You've persuaded me. I'll live if I can be revived. If mother love in the face of death can drag me back towards life.
Hippolytus wants to speak to me? Hippolytus wants to say goodbye? Ismene, is it true? Are you sure?
Because Theseus is dead. Get ready. People from both sides will flock to you now the king is gone. Orisha will be her own master. And soon, the master of all the Greeks.
Are you sure this isn't some rumor? I'm free. I have no more enemies.
It's all true. The gods smile on you now. Theseus sleeps with his fathers.
Does anyone know how he died?
The stories are wild, incredible. Some say that in pursuit of some girl, the ocean swallowed this faithless man. Another, told everywhere, claims he and Pirithous, his friend, went down into the underworld, saw Cocytus in the dark shore, showed themselves alive among the dead, and found themselves trapped forever across the river of no return.
Do you really think a living man could cross into the land of the dead? What possible reason could he have?
Theseus died. That's all that matters. Athens is in chaos, and Troyzen calls on Hippolytus to be king. Phaedra has locked herself in the tower, fearing an attempt on her son's life, demanding help from her trembling friends.
And do you think Hippolytus will be more understanding than his father? You think he'll pity me?
I do.
Have you ever met Hippolytus? He hates women. What makes you think he'd treat me any differently? He's always avoided seeing me. He hides where he knows we'll never go.
I know what they say about the prince, but I've seen him in your company. The stories of his sexless nature excited my curiosity. What I expected I didn't see. At one glance from you, he grew confused. He tried to keep from looking at you and failed. His eyes spoke volumes. The prince may think he's stronger than love, but the eye still wants what the eye wants.
My heart leaps at the thought, Ismene. Even if it's based on so little. Friend of my soul, Tell me, is it true that I, sad toy of pitiless fate, with a heart fed on bitterest pain, could still feel the foolish pangs of love? My royal family is all gone. Only I survived the bloody war that cut down my 6 brothers, the last hope of my ambitious house. The sword reaped everything, and the earth drank the last of Erechtheus' blood. Since their death, Theseus' strict law demands that no Greek may fall in love with me, lest the fires of holy marriage vows inflame my brother's ashes back to life. But you know what little care I had for Theseus' fearful restrictions. I never wanted to fall in love. I was relieved when he forbade it, losing a burden I never sought. But then my eyes beheld his son. I don't mean I loved him at first sight. He is beautiful and full of grace. Nature smiled on Hippolytus, and he doesn't even seem to know. What I love lies under the surface. His father's strength without the weakness. I love the proud, generous heart that never yet has fallen in love. Theseus made a fool of Phaedra. I'm not like her. I'd never accept a man who's had so many women and pledged his love to all of them. To break a man who's never been bent, to pierce a heart that's never felt pain, to bind my captive before he knows in chains of unbreakable desire, that might be something. That's what I want. Hercules himself was trapped by love, and often too, if you believe it, no glory there. But Hippolytus... Listen to me, talking like a fool. Hippolytus will never love me, and I'll wind up dashed to pieces on the rocks of his unbroken heart. In love with me. What makes me think I could deserve such happiness?
Be quiet. And keep your eyes open. He's coming.
Princess, before I go, you need to know what's going to happen. My father is gone. I feared the worst, and now my fears have been proven true. The gods have finally surrendered Theseus to homicidal fate. You hated my father, but I know you recognize the greatness in him. Just one ray of light pierces my grief. I now have the power to free you. My father's commands died with him. You own yourself now, body and soul. Troyzen belonged to my grandfather, and now it's mine. The people today chose me to be their king. You're free here, as free as I am, even more free.
I don't know how to understand this. You're kinder to me than I deserve, but without meaning to, you make me subject to the laws you'd freed me from.
Athens debates who will rule her now. The queen's infant son, or me, or you.
Me, my lord.
To be honest, I know the law denies any claim from me. Greece won't accept an Amazon son. But if it was only my brother, I could assert some prerogative for the throne under Athens' laws. A more legitimate claim stops me. I give. Or rather, I make way for the claim promised to your ancestors by Erechtheus, son of the earth. My ancestors were adopted. Athens did well under Theseus, and they were glad to have him as king. But your brothers were dispossessed. Now Athens is calling you back home. Athens is tired of our endless wars. Athens is tired of all the spilled blood smoking in the fields, blighting her crops. Troyzen is mine. The lands around Crete will be enough for Phaedra's son. But Athens is yours. I'm going now, to gather support on your behalf.
Everything you say confuses me. I'm almost afraid it's just a dream. Am I awake? Can I believe it? What God gave you this idea? No wonder you're praised by everyone. The truth is greater than your renown. You'd betray yourself on my account. I only prayed you didn't hate me. That alone would have been enough, but to think after all this time...
Hate you? Whatever people say about me, do you think a monster gave me birth? What savage anger, what inbred hate could survive the sight of you? I mean, am I so strange? Am I too blind?
My lord?
So much for self-control. I can't stop myself. I don't want to. I've finally broken my silence. I must go on. I have to tell you the secret that my heart can't hide. You see before you a broken man, punished for his ridiculous pride. You see me, the enemy of love, who mocked the suffering of other men and watched their ships of love break apart while I stood, laughing, safe on the shore, suddenly swept away, lost, drowned, carried away from land, from myself. One glance from your eyes was all it took. My once free soul was shackled and bound. For 6 months, hunted, desperate, I carried the wound you inflicted. I fought against you, against myself. Everywhere I ran, I saw your face. Your vision tracked me in the forest, in the sunlight, in the moonlight. Your eyes followed me everywhere. Everything delivered me to you. And now the only thing that I've gained is to be lost. I can't find myself. My bow, my chariot call to me, but I've forgotten how to use them. My horses have forgotten my voice while the forest echoes with my tears. This is probably too much, too crude. I don't want to embarrass you. I don't know the right words to say. Oh, I'm not good enough to be your slave, but try to understand what I mean. This is a foreign language to me. Even if the words come out all wrong, I'm trying to say what you taught me.
My lord, the queen is here. She's coming to see you.
Me?
I don't know why, but Phaedra asked me to find you. She wants to see you before you leave.
Phaedra? What does she expect of me?
You have to listen to her at least. I know you hate her, but you owe some consideration to her grief.
So now you'll leave? And soon I'll set sail, and I still don't know how you feel or if this heart I leave in your hands.
Go to Athens. Carry out your plans. Bring back the news that I will be queen. I accept everything you offer. And no, the chance to rule in Athens is not the dearest gift you gave me.
Is everything prepared? Here she comes. Go. Make sure we're ready to leave. Give all the orders and come back soon. Save me from this tedious meeting.
My heart is going to burst. I've forgotten what I had to say.
There is only hope.
They say you're planning to leave us. My pain and yours are both the same. But I want to talk about my son. He has no father, and very soon he may lose his mother. Enemies surround him, waiting for my death. You're the only one who could help him. But I have a guilty conscience. I'm afraid you'll be deaf to his cries. I'm afraid I've treated you badly and given you reason to hate me.
I don't feel anything of the sort.
I wouldn't blame you for hating me. You know I did my best to hurt you. But you didn't know what was in my heart. I made sure you couldn't stand me because I couldn't bear to see you. In public, in private, I labored to keep an ocean between us. I even made Theseus agree that your name never be spoken. But if our crimes are punished fairly, if we earn hatred by giving hate, then pity me. I haven't deserved to be treated like your enemy.
A jealous mother protects her child against the father's older children. It's not unusual. Suspicion is the price of second marriages. Any woman would have felt the same and might have made me suffer more.
But I have to tell you that cruel heaven made me an exception to the rule. A different passion feeds on my soul.
This is no time to abandon hope. Heaven may still return your husband.
And no one sees the land of the dead twice. Ever since Theseus crossed the river Styx, not even a god could bring him back. The gods never let go of their prey. What am I saying? He lives in you. In you, I think I see my husband. I see him. I speak to him. My heart. I have to stop. I'm losing my mind. I can't hide this love any longer.
I know how much you love Theseus. Even dead, he's always by your side. Your soul still burns with his memory.
Yes. I burn. I long for Theseus. I love him. Not the man he became. The thief who stole his way into hell to act out his lust. No. The man I love is faithful. Proud. Almost frightening. Enchanting. Young, loved by everyone. Lovely as a god. Lovely as you. He had your body, your eyes, your voice. His face was fresh and modest as yours when he first came to Crete to set a fire in the heart of Minos' daughters. Where were you then? Why bring his best men and leave Hippolytus behind? As young as you were, why didn't you join your father when he came to me? You could have entered the labyrinth. You could have slain the Minotaur. My sister would have armed you with thread to find your way back to her. But no. I would have gotten there first. Love would have inspired me. Only me. I would have been the one to help you, to free you from the labyrinth. How much I would have done for you. A roll of thread, I would have gone with you, rushed headlong into danger with you, Phaedra with you in the labyrinth to live or die together with you.
God, what are you saying? Theseus is your husband and my father.
Yes, you think I've forgotten that? You think I've forgotten who I am?
Forgive me. I shouldn't be here. I'm going.
Stop lying to yourself! You heard me right. You know what I meant. Look at me. See me for what I am. A woman in love with you, my son. Don't think I haven't condemned myself. I'm out of my mind with love for you and sick of the love that poisons me. Heaven's vengeance rains down on my head. I am repulsive to myself and you. The gods bear me witness. Those same gods infected my blood with hopeless love. Those cruel gods who glory in our pain and seduce poor women's helpless hearts. You know what happened as well as me. I didn't run. I chased you away. I tried to be heartless and human to free myself. I made you hate me. And what good did it all do me? The more you hated, the more I loved. Your sorrow only made me want you more. I withered in the fire, in my tears. You could have seen for yourself if ever you looked at me. No! Do you think I wanted to confess my shameful love to you? I came here to beg for my son's life, and now I've betrayed him. My heart is too weak, too full of love for you. Dear gods, my passion is all I know. Strike me. Punish me for loving you. Be your father's son and slay the beast whose life offends the whole living world. Your father's wife loves her husband's son. This terrible monster has to die. Here is my heart. I want you to strike. My heart longs to be torn to pieces. I want to see my blood on your hands. Strike! I'm too foul to be touched. If you hate me too much to help me, if my blood is too corrupted, give me the sword. I'll do it myself. Give it to me!
What are you doing? Someone's coming. Don't let them see you. Go! Run! You've destroyed yourself!
Was that Phaedra being dragged away? What's wrong? What happened? What did she say? Where is your sword? What's Phaedra done?
We have to get away. Now. Tonight. I feel like a monster. Horrible. Phaedra. No, I can't say any more. I wish I could forget what I know.
Ships are ready if you want them, but Athens has declared its choice and all the tribes have spoken your brother is king. Phaedra has won.
Phaedra?
A herald came from Athens to hand over the reins of power. Her son is king, my lord.
Almighty gods. You know her heart. Is this her reward?
There are rumors that Theseus lives. They say he was seen in Epirus, but I've looked there already. I
have
know
to make sure, no matter what. Let's find out if these rumors are true. If there's no reason to change my plans, we'll set sail. And no matter the cost, I'll make Arisha the rightful queen.
No! Tell them they can keep their kingdom. You want people to see me this way? Why are you trying to comfort me? I'm sick of talking. Leave me alone. I can control myself out there. I said what no one should ever hear. God, how he listened. How many ways he pretended not to understand. How eager he was to get away. And how ashamed I felt to see it. Why wouldn't you let me kill myself? Oh, when his sword was touching my breast, was he afraid for me? Did he try and stop me? No, he let go of his sword as if it were a vile thing, as if the blade had been defiled by my touch.
Your illness makes you pity yourself and feed a fire you have to put out. Minos, child, wouldn't it be better to find peace by doing your duty? Let the ungrateful prince run away. Take your revenge by taking the throne.
Should I rule? Can I direct the state when my thoughts have lost all direction? When my mind is a shattered kingdom, when I lie gasping, conquered, a slave, when I'm dying?
Then let's run away.
I can't leave him now.
Avoid him then! Send him into exile like before!
Too late for that. He knows what I feel. There's no going back, no forgetting. My conqueror knows my secret shame. And like a fool, I still cling to hope. You brought me back from the brink of death. My soul was ready to leave this earth till you came saying what I wanted. Go, you're free now, love Hippolytus.
Whether or not I made things worse, I'd do it all again to save you. If you're so easily offended, remember that proud young man's contempt. Remember the cruelty in his eyes when he left you weeping at his feet. He's cold, perverted, unnatural. I wish you could see him through my eyes.
Unknown. All the things you hate could change. He's wild, like the forests of his birth. He's innocent in the ways of love. Maybe he didn't know what to say, and I may have been too quick to judge.
Remember, his mother was a savage.
An Amazon. And yet she could love.
He hates all women with a passion.
So I'll never fear any rivals. All your advice is worthless to me. Give me what I want, not what I need. Serve my passion unknown, not my mind. If his heart is armored against love, let's search out a more sensitive spot. He longs to rule over an empire. Athens calls to him, he can't hide it. His ships were already pointed there, sails seduced by the ravishing winds. Go, seek out this ambitious young man. Put the crown within reach of his thoughts. He can take the throne, take anything. As long as he takes it from my hands, I'll throw myself at his feet and call him Lord. He can be a father to my child. He can teach my son how to be king. Mother and child, I submit to him. Try anything to make him agree. He'll listen to you more than to me. Beg, weep, tell him Phaedra is dying. Try anything. You're my only friend. My only hope. I'll wait. My future depends on you. Venus, now you see me drowning in shame. Is it enough? Are you satisfied? There's nothing left you can take from me. You've won. I'm finished. Phaedra is gone. Monstrous God. If you thirst for new blood, I'll give you a name. Hippolytus. Goddess, punish him. Make him love me.
Your love is hopeless. It's all over. Be strong for what I'm about to say. The king we thought was dead is alive. Theseus has come. He'll be here soon. The people are rushing to meet him. I was looking for Hippolytus when suddenly 1,000 voices chorused.
That's enough. My husband is alive. The love I confess dishonors him. He's alive. That's all I need to hear.
What?
I knew it. But you wouldn't listen. You begged and I let you delay me. Just this morning I could have been mourned. Thanks to you, I die dishonored.
You mean to die?
Gods, what have I done? My husband is coming with his son. The witness to my adultery will watch me as I greet his father. Eyes still heavy with love for the son. Eyes still red from weeping for him. You know what comes next. He'll expose me to save his father's honor. You think he'd betray Theseus to save me? You think the prince could hide his disgust? Even if he could, I know myself alone. I'm not one of those women who put a false face on their passions and never blush with shame at their guilt. I remember all my delusions. The palace walls, the stones underfoot will speak with one voice to denounce me and condemn me to my husband. Death, come deliver me from these horrors. Is it so awful to stop living? For the hopeless there is no fear in death. I only fear what I leave behind. My poor children. Their inheritance is horror and shame. God give them strength. Stained forever by their mother's sins, all their noble blood can't help them now. Someday they're bound to learn about me. Someday they'll be oppressed for my sake. What if it's too much? I'm so afraid they'll never live down the shame of me.
Yes. Everything you fear could come true. Your children's future hangs by a thread. If you kill yourself, you testify to your own guilt, and their fate is sealed. Everyone would know you were ashamed, afraid of your husband finding out. That would make Hippolytus happy. He could say anything he wanted. How could I stop him accusing you? People would believe the prince, not me. It would be revolting to see him spreading your shame to everyone. Let heaven's flames burn me alive first. But tell me true. Do you still love him? What do you make of the proud prince now?
He's a loathsome monster in my eyes.
Why do you want to let him win? You're afraid of him? Accuse him first of the crime he'll lay on you today. All the evidence speaks against him. The sword, which luckily you kept, your long sadness, your current distress, Theseus, his mind already poisoned against the sun by you. His exile, your idea because you were afraid.
I can't slander an innocent soul.
I only need you to keep quiet. Of course, I'm sorry it's come to this. I'd die first if it was only me, but it's not. I have to make a plan. Your life comes before everything else. I'll do the talking. Theseus' rage won't go any further than exile. A father is always a father, even when he's punishing the son. Hippolytus won't suffer too much. But if guiltless blood has to be shed, it's a small price to pay if it saves your honor. Nothing's more important. Whatever it takes, that's what you do. To save your honor, anything can be sacrificed, even virtue. Theseus comes.
With Hippolytus, my downfall is written in his eyes. Do what you want. My fate's in your hands. Without you, I'm beyond saving now.
The gods have taken pity on me. Bring me to you.
Stop, Theseus! Your words of love are wasted on me. I'm no longer fit to be your wife. You've been cheated. The envious fate, seeing you gone, to aim at your wife. I'm unclean. My touch would defile you. I have to go and hide myself away.
What's going on? Why this strange welcome?
Only Phaedra can explain herself. But if my words can move you, Father, let me never look on her again. Give me permission to stay away from any place where your wife might be.
You're leaving too, son?
Why should I stay? You're the one who wanted Phaedra here. Well, when you went away, you left the queen and Aricia in Troyzen with me. You said to guard them in your absence, and now you're back. I've done my duty. I'm tired of idleness, of wasting my talents hunting in the forest. Let me try myself against the world and make my name spilling better blood. When you were younger than I am now, you slaughtered monsters, faced down tyrants, made them fear the name of Theseus. You were judge and executioner. You drove the pirates from our coastlines and opened up the seas to travelers. Even Hercules relied on you because he could rest from his labors. And me? Who's heard of Hippolytus? Even my mother is better known. Let me find a way to test my strength. If you've left any monster alive, let me make you a gift of its head. Or die trying, die beautifully, writing my name in eternity and telling the gods I was your son.
What is this? What are you afraid of? Why is everyone leaving me? Gods! Why did you free me from my bondage if everyone here hates and fears me? I had one friend with a wild desire to kidnap King Pyrrhus' concubine. I helped him, not really wanting to, but fate and anger blinded us both. Pyrrhus took me by surprise, unarmed. I watched as the barbaric Pyrrhus threw my dearest friend into a pit, while horrible monsters devoured him. Me,
He imprisoned in a deep cave, as dark as the kingdom of the dead. After 6 months, the gods took pity. They helped me slip away from my guards. I found Pyrrhus, rid the earth of him, and fed the carcass to his monsters. And when I've almost reached home, and everything that's dear to me, when I feel my soul wounded, yearning to be restored to my family, you all shudder at the sight of me. You leave. My wife won't let me touch her. If I'm so horrible to you all, I might as well never have escaped. Talk! Phaedra told me I'd been cheated. By whom? Why haven't you avenged me? So many years I spent serving Greece. Is this my reward? A criminal is given refuge in my own home? You don't answer. Is it possible my son, my own son, is a part of this? My soul is filled with apprehension. I'll know what happened, and who did it. Phaedra will have to explain herself.
What's going to happen? I'm so afraid. Is Phaedra still lost in her madness? Will she confess and lose everything? Gods! What will the king do? Poisoned love has spread like a fever through his home. He forbade the love that consumes me. He'll never look at me the same way. I have a sense of impending doom. But innocence has nothing to fear. My father loves me. I'll find a way to spark his compassion and confess my love for Arisha. Let him rage. He has no power to change my heart.
What do you mean? My son, that monster, tried to violate his father's wife? Destiny! You've punished me enough! Where am I? Where can Theseus go? Father's love. This is my reward. So brazen. So despicable. Threatening my wife with violence to satisfy his dark desires. He drew this sword. I gave it to him. He used it to gratify his lust. Ties of blood meant nothing to him. Why was Phaedra so slow to speak out? Is she trying to protect him?
It was you she wanted to protect. Phaedra was ashamed of his desire, ashamed to be the cause of it. Phaedra tried to kill herself, my lord, and quench his passion in her heart's blood. She was ready to strike. I ran to save her, to save your love for you. And weeping for her, weeping for you, it's my sad fate to tell her story.
Bastard. He went pale when he saw me. He trembled with fear when he saw me. It shocked me to see how strange he was. His cold greeting froze my father's heart. Was he consumed with this secret lust in Athens, before I banished him?
You remember how the queen begged you to send him away? Sinful desire, on Hippolytus' part, was the cause.
And then like a fool I sent her here, and his sleeping desire awakened.
I've told you everything that happened. The queen shouldn't be left by herself. I need to go and attend on her.
Here he comes. Such false nobility. God, who wouldn't be fooled by my son? How can an adulterous monster still seem so princely, so innocent? Are there no signs, no deformities which betray a sick, abnormal soul?
Father, may I ask what's troubling you? I'm sorry, but you look so distressed. Can I help you? Can't you talk to me?
Bastard! How dare you come before me? The gods should strike you dead, you monster! Last survivor of your hated race! After your savage, animal lust practiced itself on your father's bed, you come back! You, my worst enemy, steeped in sin, corrupting my own home instead of finding some foreign land beyond the reach of the law's revenge. Run! Don't tempt my hatred any further, or fool yourself into thinking I won't kill you. I already earned the gods' contempt when I engender a mongrel child. I don't want men to remember me for being my own son's executioner. Run! If you don't want to be struck down like a common criminal, make sure you never show yourself, never breathe under the same sky as your father. And Neptune! If ever you loved me for clearing the seas of murderers, remember the reward you offered. Trapped for months in a cruel prison cell, I never asked you to set me free. I was too greedy to waste your help on anything so unimportant. But now I beg you, punish my son! Avenge me. Drown his foul desire in waves of blood. Be kind to me. Show him no mercy.
Did Phaedra say I assaulted her?
Traitor! You were foolish enough to think that Phaedra would protect you. When you ran away, you forgot your sword. That was a mistake. It was a mistake to let her live. You should have finished what you started.
I'm accused of this hateful crime. I should defend myself with the truth. But what I have to say would kill you. Leave me to my silence. Step away from this bottomless pit of sorrow. You know me. Remember who I am. Small crimes predict greater ones to come. A man who commits a petty theft will one day take everything. Crime, like virtue, grows by what it feeds on. But the innocent can't suddenly throw all morality to the winds. One day can corrupt the virtuous to rape, to incest, or to murder. My mother was chaste and virtuous, and I carry that blood in my veins. I'm human, like any other man. But if I can lay claim to something, it's that my life is a monument to virtue. Hippolytus is known throughout Greece to be a righteous man. I've never yielded to temptation. My soul is pure, shining, like the sun, regardless of these accusations.
Yes! Your unholy pride condemns you. It's the reason you've always seemed cold. Only Phaedra could be good enough. Your heart disdained all other women. Your soul despised an innocent love.
I've hidden the truth too long, Father. An honest love has stolen my heart. I'll confess my one crime against you. Despite your orders, I love Arisha, the mistress of my soul. Palantide's daughter conquered your son. I love her. I rebelled against you, but my heart burns. I long for no one else.
Gods, you love her? No. No, I see the truth. A falsehood to throw off suspicion.
For 6 months I tried to deny it. I came today, trembling to tell you. Father, can't I make you understand? What terrible oath would you believe? By the earth, by the sky, by all the world.
Criminals can swear to anything. Enough. Enough! Spare me your stories. You can't defend what lies can't erase.
You think I'm lying? Then ask your wife! And her dark heart, Phaedra knows the truth!
Stop! I can barely control my rage!
You said I was exiled. For how long? To what part of the world may I go?
There's no place far enough away for someone so treacherous to hide.
What friend would ever dare take me in when you've cast me out, charged with such crimes?
Look in the darkest places on earth, for men whose souls are as black as your own. Rapists, incestuous animals. No other shelter is fit for you.
Are incest and rape your words for me? There's nothing I can say except this. Remember the blood in Phaedra's veins. Remember the mother that Phaedra had.
Stop talking! I won't hear any more. For the last time, out of my sight! Go! Don't presume too much on my restraint, or think I won't drive you out by force! Poor animal. Death is hunting you. Neptune, the dread master of the sea, gave me his word. He won't let me down. There's no escaping a god's vengeance. I loved you. No matter what you've done, my heart is full of sorrow for you. But you deserve the pain that's coming. No father could bear such an offense. Kind gods who see my devastation. Why was I cursed with an evil child?
My lord, what happened? I'm so afraid. Your voice was loud, so full of danger. What will it lead to? What did you do? Call him back. Think of your family. I'm begging you. If you spill his blood, the earth itself will scream in horror, and I will be damned eternally for being the cause of his murder.
Don't worry. No blood will stain my hands. But my ungrateful son won't escape the savage god that pursues him now. Neptune promised. You'll have your revenge.
Neptune promised? What evil prayer?
Are you afraid the god won't listen? Then join me in my prayers. Scream aloud. Conjure my son's crimes. Inflame my soul. I've been too cold, too slow to condemn. But his sins are as black as Tartarus. He raged against you. He slandered you. He said you were faithless. A liar. He claims that Arisha has his heart, his soul, that he loves her.
Arisha?
He said it to my face. But I knew it was only a desperate lie. Let's hope that Neptune takes him quickly. I'm going now to the god's temple to urge him to fulfill his promise.
He's gone. What horrible words he spoke. The embers of love flare up again. Love without hope. Oh, heavens condemned. I tore myself away from Manon and hurried here consumed with remorse to defend the son from the father. Where would my repentance have led me? Perhaps I would have accused myself. Perhaps. But the words died on my tongue. One awful truth took my breath away. Hippolytus is able to love. But he isn't able to love me. Orisha trapped his heart. Orisha. Oh, gods! When the inflexible prince rejected my confession of love, I thought his heart couldn't be opened. I thought he had no use for women. But one woman crushed his defenses and made his eyes burn with love, not hate. His heart wasn't so hard after all. He just couldn't stand the sight of me. And I was running to defend him. Unknown. Do you know what I just learned?
No. I'm afraid to hear it. I thought my heart would burst when you ran away. I feared you ran to your destruction.
Who knew, Unknown? I have a rival.
What?
Hippolytus loves, there's no doubt. My fierce enemy. Untamable. Offended by tears, deaf to my cries. This tiger, terrible in my eyes, has been tamed, broken, overmastered. Orisha won his love.
Orisha.
A sorrow I never expected. What new torments are in store for me? After all my fear, my frenzy, my raging love, my dreadful remorse, the contempt of his cruel rejection was nothing to this new agony. They're in love! How did they elude me? When did this start? What place did they meet? Did you know? Why didn't you tell me? Why did you let me deceive myself? You saw them walking together, walking arm in arm, hiding away in the depths of the forest. Oh, God. Everyone knew about them but me. Heaven smiled on their innocent love. They came together without remorse. They woke in joy and blessed the morning, while I, in my filth and misery, hid from the world and cursed the daylight. Death was the only God I prayed to. I waited, yearning for my last breath, nursing my sorrow with bitter tears. And yet I was watched at every turn. I didn't dare lose myself in grief. My tears were private. My public face was calm as a statue. But inside, I was drowning, terrified, alone.
Nothing can come of their hopeless love. They'll never see each other again.
And so their love will last forever. As we're talking, I can't bear the thought. The two of them are laughing at me, mocking my contemptible desire. Exile holds no fear for them. They swear 1,000 oaths of love with kisses. They seal themselves always together. No, I won't bear it alone. Their love is agony to me. help me now. Arisha has to die. Awaken Theseus' rage against her family. He's not one for easy punishment. Arisha's crimes exceed her brother's. I'll throw myself at my husband's feet. What am I saying? I'm losing my mind. I'm jealous. And I'd ask my husband to kill my rival. My husband lives, and yet I'm still consumed with desire. For whom? Who is the man I long for? Every word I speak is horrible. There's no crime I'm not capable of. In one breath, adultery, incest, the next, murder and vengeance. My lips longing for that girl's innocent blood. Monster! How can I stand the sunlight? How am I alive? My grandfather is father and master of the gods. All the heaven, all the universe is filled with my watching ancestors. Where can I hide? The land of the dead? No. My father went there before me. They say fate put the scales of justice in his unforgiving hands. What will he say when he sees me? Compelled to confess so many sins, crimes so vile, even the underworld will convulse in horror as I speak. What words will you have for me, Father? I see your hand reaching for the scales. I see you inventing new torments. Executioner of your own blood. Forgive me. A cruel God destroys us. My madness is all the proof you need. Alas, I never tasted the fruit of the dreadful love that pursues me. My every breath is drawn in despair. My hateful life ends in agony.
Wait! Don't give in to your pointless fear. Try to look at this another way. You love. You can't fight your destiny. A fatal spell carried you away. Is it really so unusual? Are you the only victim of love? Human weakness is universal. Everyone alive submits to fate. You strain against an ancient burden. Even the gods up in Olympus, the ones who punish us for our sins, have burned with uncontrollable love.
What? You want to give me more advice? You want to poison my mind again? Your counsel led to my damnation. When I wanted to die, you stopped me. You forced me to meet Hippolytus. What have you done? Your accusations stained his innocent life. He could die. The gods may grant his foolish father his sacrilegious wish. No more words. Out of my sight, you vicious monster. Leave me to my fate. And may the gods pay you in kind for your blasphemy. May you burn in torment. A warning to all the cringing cowards who feed the appetites of unhappy queens. Tempt them to reap their darkest desires and pave the way with innocent blood. Parasite! You've done the will of God, and drawn me to my own destruction.
Gods. I did everything for her. I left my life behind for her sake. And this is my reward in the end. Well, it must be what I deserve.
Why aren't you taking any action? Your father loves you. He's been deceived. If my broken heart means so little you can bear to leave me forever, then go. Abandon poor Arisha. But at least try to save your own life. Speak, defend yourself against these lies. Go to your father, make him recant. There's still time. Why won't you try? Because you want to protect your accuser? Tell him the truth.
What more could I say? Accuse his wife of shaming his bed? I don't dare. If he knew everything, the disgrace would destroy my father. You're the only one who knows it all. You and the gods. I have no one else. I couldn't keep this secret from you. Judge me, then, but never doubt my love. I said things I wish I didn't know, things you promised never to repeat. Forget what I said if you're able. Never let the horrors I revealed stain your innocent heart. Trust the gods. Divine justice is my only hope. The gods will absolve me, and Phaedra will be punished. Sooner or later. The universe can't hide its disgust. Your silence is all I ask of you. Except for one thing. Be led by me. Throw off the bonds of slavery here. Be bold. Come with me. Share my exile. Leave this deadly, poisonous kingdom where the very air breathes deception. Take advantage of the confusion and escape while no one is watching. I can get you out of the palace. Your guards are my men. They come with me. We have powerful friends overseas. Argos and Sparta will take our side. Let's appeal to them. Don't let Phaedra wreck both our lives. The throne of Athens belongs to you and me, not her son. We have a chance. We have to take it. What's holding you back? Are you afraid? I'm thinking about what's best for you. I want this. Why won't you answer me?
Exile with you would be paradise. Alone with you, I could be content to let the world forget about me. But how can I be with you if we can never be together? The rules of honor don't prevent me from freeing myself from your father. I owe him nothing. It's not my home. Escape from tyranny is no sin. But to be with you and not married...
No! No. I do nothing to shame you. You misunderstand my intentions. Leave this place and follow your husband. If heaven conspires to cast us out, we're free from my father's commandments. A wedding can happen in secret. Outside the city gates stand the tombs, where my ancestor kings lie buried. A temple sits there, dedicated to truth. No one dares to tell a lie, because the gods in that place punish deception with immediate death. Only the truth can be spoken there. If you trust me, in that place we'll swear an oath pledging our eternal love. That temple's god will be our witness, a father to our newborn marriage. I'll call on the sacred goddesses, Diana the Virgin and Juno the Queen of Heaven, to bear witness to my promise of eternal love and join us together forever.
I hear the king.
Don't let him see you. I'll stay here to throw off suspicion. Go. But send me someone I can trust to lead me, blushing, to the altar. Go.
You listening gods, help me to see. Send me light to uncover the truth.
Get ready, Ismene, we're leaving.
You're pale. Did I interrupt something? What was Hippolytus doing here?
Saying goodbye forever, my lord.
I hear you tamed his rebellious heart, and you're the first love he's ever known.
I won't deny what you said is true.
Did he say he'd love you forever?
Your son didn't inherit your hate. He doesn't think I'm a criminal.
Did he say he'd love you forever? I wouldn't bet on his faithless heart. You aren't his first. You won't be the last.
What do you mean?
He focused on you for a moment. A port in the storm. I hope you can stand sharing his love.
I hope you can stand what you've become, slandering such an innocent soul. Do you know nothing about his heart? Are you so blind to truth and to lies? Is your mind so clouded with hatred that you can't see what everyone knows? I can't be quiet any longer. Repent of your homicidal prayer. I fear the gods may hate you enough to make your awful wishes come true. Some sacrifices sicken the gods, and their reward can be punishment.
You're wasting your breath defending him. Your love blinds you to the truth. I have witnesses. I've heard the story. I've seen tears, real tears.
Be careful, Lord. Of all the monsters you've defeated, not all of them were killed. You let live one. Your son made me swear not to speak. Out of the respect he feels for you, I won't grieve his heart by saying more. To keep my promise, I have to leave. If I stay here, the truth will come out.
What did she mean? What was behind it? Stopping, refusing to speak. Is she just trying to confuse me? Or is she conspiring with my son? And yet, no matter how resolute, something cries in the depths of my heart. Grief and shock that I still pity him. I have to question Anon again. I need to hear the story again. Guards! Bring Anon here! Bring her alone.
Don't know what the queen is planning, but her desperation frightens me. Her face bears all the signs of despair. She's pale as death. And Anon, ashamed at being driven away, has thrown herself into the ocean. No one knows why she took her own life. Her secrets were swallowed by the waves.
What?
Her death only made Phaedra worse. Some evil breeds in her troubled soul. At times, to relieve her secret pain, she clasps her children, bathes them in tears, then suddenly forgetting herself, pushes them away with horror. She wanders her rooms as if she's lost, seeing us without recognition. 3 times she started to write, 3 times she ripped up the letters she'd begun. Go, see her, Lord. Only you can help.
Anon dead? And Phaedra dying? Call my son back. I'm ready to hear his defense. Oh, let me talk to him. Neptune! Withhold your fatal reward. I'm sorry I asked for anything. False witnesses have poisoned my mind. I was too quick to rage and to strike. Gods, save me from despair. Save my son! Theramenes, quick. Where is my son? You've been with him since he was a child. Why are you crying? Where is my son?
Your care comes too late. It is useless now and pointless. Hippolytus is gone.
Gods.
I watched an innocent man die. A man who loved you. You should know that.
My son is dead. When I begged the gods to bring him back to my arms, instead they ripped him away. How did he die? What sudden thunderbolt struck him down?
We passed under the gates of Troyzen. He stood in his chariot, His guards sorrowful, silent, sensing his mood. We followed the Mycenaean road. The horse's reins hung limp in his hands, those beautiful stallions. Once so proud and eager to respond to his voice, hung their heads this morning. Their sad eyes seeming to read their master's sad thoughts. A horrible cry burst from the waves, and the air trembled in confusion. A voice howled from the depths of the earth, answering the call of the ocean. Our blood turned cold. Our hearts were like ice. The horse's manes bristled at the sound. Suddenly the sea heaved itself up into a dark mountain of water. It rushed to shore and vomited up a beast. An insane monstrosity. A broad forehead, armed with rows of horns. Its back bristling with yellowing scales, an enraged bull. A snarling dragon, its body twisted. Impossible. It howled, and the road shook beneath us. The sky turned black at the sight of it. The earth shuddered. The air was poisoned. The wave that brought it recoiled in fear. We all ran. No one dared to face it. We hid in a temple by the road, seeking asylum, all but your son. Hippolytus reined in his horses. Grabbed his javelin like a hero, he charged the monster. Cast his spear and ripped its flank open to the bone. All rage, all agony, the monster threw itself roaring at his horses. Its mouth belching fire, enfolding them in flames and blood and smoke. The horses ran, mindless of the rein or the command. Their master tried in vain to hold them. Their mouths bled where they strained at the bit, as if an angry god straddled them spiny legs. Digging into their flanks, fear drove them headlong across the rocks. The axle screamed and splintered apart. The chariot shattered. The prince felt tangled in the reins. Forgive my tears. This cruel sight will haunt me forever. I saw your unhappy son dragged by the horses that his hand fed. His voice called commands. He frightened them. They ran. His whole body was a wound. The hills echoed with our anguished cries until finally silence again. The horses stopped near the ancient tombs where his ancestor kings lay buried. I ran there weeping, his guards with me. The trail we followed was streaked with blood. Blood everywhere. The rocks, the branches, the brambles dripping with blood and hair. I found him. I spoke. He took my hand. His eye opened and closed again. Heaven, he said, has stolen away my innocent life. After my death, Take care of sad Arisha, dear friend. If ever my father's heart changes, and he mourns his falsely accused son, tell him to treat Arisha kindly. And that will settle my restless ghost and bring me peace. And with that he died. A disfigured corpse lay in my arms, a sad fragment broken by the gods, something his own father wouldn't know.
Oh, my son. My precious hope is gone. The hateful gods have served me too well. This regret will haunt me all my life.
The fearful Arisha soon appeared. Escaping from you, she thought to take her husband in sight of the gods. She approached. Her way was marked with blood. She saw Hippolytus, pale, shapeless. A fitting sight for her wedding day. And for a time she couldn't believe it. He didn't look like the man that she loved. She kept asking for Hippolytus. But soon enough, her eyes were opened. She looked to the sky, accusingly, turned cold, let out a moan, and collapsed, barely breathing, at her lover's feet. Ismene came then, choking with tears, calling to Arisha, waking her to an empty life of endless pain. And I came here, hating the world, to deliver your son's final wish and to discharge the hateful duty his dying heart entrusted to me. Here comes the cause of his destruction.
Well, you've succeeded. My son is dead. I have reason to fear. Suspicion troubles my heart. Was he innocent? But he's dead. Accept this sacrifice. Just or unjust, revel in his death. I consent always believe you. His crimes were real because you say so. I can cry because my son is dead. I'd be a fool if I went looking for other reasons to break my heart. No revelation will bring him back. I'm leaving this land. I'm leaving you. I'm leaving my son's broken body. But the thought of his death will haunt me forever, no matter where I go. The universe isn't big enough for me to hide in. There's no place I can run to where my son's murder won't follow me. My name will be a torment to me. Everyone has heard of Theseus. The gods' love is torture to me now. I hate the blessings they've given me. Never, never will I pray again. There's nothing the gods can give me now that could take the place of what I lost.
No, Theseus. I have to speak now. I have to absolve your son of guilt. He was innocent.
I was a fool. I prayed for his death because of you. Then you expect me to forgive you?
I don't have much time. Listen to me. I was the one who pursued your son with wicked, incestuous desire. The gods cursed me with passion for him. And Anon conceived the hateful plan. She was afraid Hippolytus was too outraged to keep my secret. That devil preyed on my helplessness. She hurried to you to accuse him. I drove her away. She sought release in the waves. Too light a punishment. I would have killed myself already, but first I had to clear your son's name. And now I have. Confessing to you, while a slower road leads me to death. The poison Medea brought to Greece is coursing now through my burning veins. The venom has reached my fevered heart. The fires are dying. My heart is cold. The sky and the bridegroom I betrayed, all shrouded now in gathering mist. Death is stealing the light from my eyes. The sun alone will shine now. Pure, clean.
He's dying.
I wish the memory of her hateful life could die with her. Come with me. The place where my son lies is a monument to my great sin. Let's wash away his blood with our tears, and gather his remains, and atone for the unholy prayer that crushed him. Let him be honored, at least in death. And to appease his suffering soul, regardless of her family's crimes, today Arisha becomes my heir.